So here's the thing. If you guys have been following this channel for a while, you know that it is completely full of me promising videos and then not uploading them. But I thought as kind of like an update, kind of like clarify what I'm doing here and why is it that I haven't been uploading videos, I thought I would film a video about it. So I posted a Ask Me Anything on my Instagram. I'm currently in Singapore for my gap year. If you guys haven't known, I've been here since late July / early August. Probably going to stay here until like late February, early March. But the US is not exactly the best place to be right now. And while Singapore has like the world's lowest COVID mortality rate, it's great here, very safe, phase 2, yada yada, lots of measures in place. So from a safety perspective, I don't think I should be going back. Numbers are rising, numbers are higher than ever actually, and there is no actual benefit to me being on campus other than the fact that I really want to be on campus. Singapore has been treating me wonderfully. I made some great friends and you will see them in an upcoming vlog, the next vlog actually, but I just didn't feel comfortable uploading it for a very specific reason, and that's the next question. So I get about like 50 requests in my inbox asking me to do college review profiles or review their essays. I really didn't mind doing this at first. I've done this a lot, and just as a disclaimer, I do intend on doing it. The second channel is coming. I'm on I think the 7th video or something now. I want to release a bunch of them at the same time so I don't have to think about it for like a hot sec. But the thing is that the inbox requests have gone increasingly from, hey, I like your channel so much, please, you know, if you have some time, could you, like, can I stand over my essay, could you please take a look at it, to, hi, why are you not responding to my messages, I really need you to look at this. And I get it, right, there's nothing wrong with asking for help from someone who, you know, has done this before. Something about the whole concept, though, of not demanding help, but asking for it in an assertive, demanding for it, just rubs me the wrong way. And it's a hard line for me because on one hand, I did start this channel. I do talk about content to try to help as many people as I can. But on the other hand, I feel like once I helped one person look at their essay in private chat, I will have to do that for everyone because otherwise it's just a bit unfair. And so as a result, I just have not been replying to my Instagram DMs like at all. I've just decided to like remove myself from that situation and focus on some other things instead. Which, if you follow my Instagram, I got like a ton of DMs about this question, but what is my startup about? So I'll give you a little preview, but I really can't say too much about it. It's stressful because everyone that I'm working with is in the US time zone and now there's daylight saving time. It's just so difficult to meet up with people and to hold yourself and other people accountable. But essentially, it's an educational technology startup. We're basically combining data science, machine learning, and ultimately it's gonna help you with your college apps. It is much more difficult and much more expensive than I've ever thought it could be, but this is making me very excited. So this is what I've been occupying my days with. So the other thing that I've been doing during my gap year is I'm writing a book. This is the first time I'm actually declaring this anywhere public. It's not instructional, self-help, business-related book. It's like a solid fiction novel. It's going okay. I'm about 20% through it. I do intend on taking advantage of NaNoWriMo, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically like a writing month. I think that happens twice a year, once in July and once in November, so obviously November. I'll give you like a very TLDR of the storyline. It takes place at UChicago and it's about dysfunctional relationships. It's not really based on my own life, but it's based on a lot of things that I've seen, heard, experienced, felt from friends, been present at. I just think it's a very traumatic, very conflict and controversial, yet under-discussed topic, at least in this perspective and in this light and in this presentation, hopefully. So that is what I've been doing. Alright, let's move on to some like fun stuff now that we got like the spicy shit out of the way. Favorite TV series plus YouTuber. Right now, probably Queen's Gambit. Just finished it on Netflix. Love it. Anna Taylor-Joy. Love her performance. The mood, cinematic, and I also really like chess. So it was just really fun. Of course, not to that level. Like after the first 30 minutes of the first episode, I had no idea what they were talking about. But I feel like it's a show that you can enjoy even if you're not someone who plays chess. It's more about like the psychological impacts that comes with being a genius, alone, an orphan, dealing with past traumas, addiction, drug abuse, stuff like that. Great show, highly recommend. Favorite YouTuber? I kind of have different YouTubers for different moods. If I'm feeling like something fluffy or just like good quality fashion content, of course, Best Dressed is the OG. I also really like Your Mom Ashley. She's just so much fun to watch. Someone I've been watching for like 6 years or something is Claudia Zalewski, also really classic. Honestly, Katie Yu. I actually found her channel when she was at 3,000 subscribers, and I messaged my friends and was like, this girl is going to blow up. If you check her channel now, she's at 70K. She does these like college major but reimagined as fashion outfit and fashion inspiration. I just love that. Her editing is amazing and her fashion sense immaculate. What other YouTubers? Oh, my favorite booktuber is Paperback Dreams. She's just so spicy and like slightly sarcastic. But I will say that the books that she reads is kind of different from what I prefer. Kind of on that same line, let's just talk about some books that I've been reading. Let me get them. Right. I have been doing some borrowing. So I'll go through some of these, but 2 of them are in Chinese, so I'll just go through them really briefly. I wanted to read Katsuo Ishiguro forever. The most famous book, I believe, is Never Let Me Go, but I couldn't find it in the library, and I've also read a little bit of it, so I thought I'd go for An Artist of the Floating World. Reason why I picked this is, well, I've always had like a penchant for Japanese authors. Started with Murakami, but now I've just kind of branched out to everybody that I could kind of get my hands on. Love the slightly detached, abstract, descriptive yet also very like thought-provoking way of reading, and it just calms me down but makes me think, and that's honestly like the state I want to be in all the time. So Simone de Beauvoir. I guess I have my 3 power professors to thank for my interest in her. I've known about her since high school, but I never actually read anything in full until at UChicago we read The Second Sex, if you do power. So I borrowed The Mandarins, which I've had my eye on this book for a hot second, but it's more like a novel than her usual style, and I honestly prefer fiction classics, literature novels. Somewhere that's like not exactly YA. No, I don't think this is YA at all. Not YA, but also not like too classics. I mean, I used to be really into classics, but now I'm more just focusing on novels. We have Umberto Eco. Also not his most famous book. I think his most famous book is The Name of the Rose, Rose by This Name, Rose by the something like that, which I read before and I really enjoyed it. So I went to go borrow Foucault's Pendulum. I really like Foucault, but I have no idea what this is about beyond the little blurb on the back. So I will update you guys because I have no idea what this is about. Now let's move on to our 2 Chinese books before I move on to the book I'm currently reading and have been loving. So this is this is 东野圭吾, which I will put as Japanese, like the romanji on the screen. I love everything that he writes. I've read about 4 of his books before, but these are a couple of ones that I just haven't picked up really, and oh my god, it's like a horror, thriller, crime, but then you throw in some like philosophy into it, with like some satirical views on like Japanese like society. I love his work. My first book from him was Yi, which I'll put here along with the English translation, and I was just reading it in my room, I remember in high school, and being like, damn, wow, I've never felt that way about like horror and crime fiction before. I've read a lot of it, but this is the first time I felt really like disturbed by it in a good way. So I finished this one already. It's called 怪人们, which I guess is kind of like weird, strange people, strangers, but like with emphasis on the strange. And it's a collection of 7 short stories. I don't think this is super interesting. I think if you're a fan of his work, you should read it. It's a very peaceful read. You know, you can just like read a story while you're on the metro, read a story when you're waiting for your friend or when you're having a cup of coffee, but it's not riveting. This one, I've heard amazing things about. It's actually super famous. I'm surprised I haven't read it yet. But it's basically about a case of sabotage, multiple cases of sabotage, and like intrigue that happens at this high school. And yeah, I'm also really excited because, well, if you don't read Chinese, it doesn't matter, but the words are vertical and in traditional Chinese, which I haven't read traditional Chinese in a hot sec. I can't read it, but it's been a while. And then we have our last one. So I posted this on my Instagram and I got like 2 DMs from people saying that, oh, I love this author as well. I have a lot to say about Milan Kundera, but I do love him very much. Also, this is the only book that I actually bought, and it's not from the library. I bought this because I think this is his newest release, and I just love his work. I read, of course, The Unbearable Lightness of Being, and it really, at the time, I think I was like 15 at the time when I read it, 15 or 16, it really changed my life in some ways. It really made me think very deeply. I fell very deep into the Milan Kundera hold. Looking back now, though, I think one of the ways I would describe his writing is like pseudo-profundity, which is a phrase I think I got from a friend, and I think that's super true. Yes, most of his writing is very deep, very thought-provoking, very, honestly, like, very life-changing, very captivating. It's if you haven't picked up anything by him, read the first chapter of Unbearable Lightness of Being and see how much you enjoyed it, because I did. But some of it is kind of what we call in Chinese 装逼, which is like, you're like making too big a deal out of something quite small, but I think it's very worth it. I think overall his writing is amazing. His writing is also one of the only ones that I don't know if you can see it, but I will annotate this religiously. Every page I will write notes and circle and underlines and stuff, because from a literary perspective, I love his work. And from a personal perspective, also I feel like there are a lot of personal takeaways you can take from this book. So yeah. These are my babies for now. I feel like I've been going on for a very long time about books, so let's move on to some other questions. This is basically a book video at this point. What are your plans after you graduate? Continue my YouTube channel, honestly. I want to like document my transition from like pre-college dweeb to post-college, hopefully sophisticated person working in, I don't know what industry. Possibly finance, possibly tech, but most importantly, I want to work on my startup. Favorite anime? So many. If you follow my Instagram, again, you know that I watched over like 150 titles, not even including second and third and fourth sometimes seasons. I have a lot of favorite anime, but the ones that immediately come to mind are Haikyuu. Did not watch the newest season yet, halfway through it, want to wait until it's finished. Hunter x Hunter, classic. March Comes In Like a Lion. Again, it's kind of like chess, but shogi, and it's amazing. And there's so many more that I can rant and talk about, and I love to like analyze anime, and at one point I considered making a YouTube channel just to talk about anime. So I have picked up a new hobby, if you couldn't tell, which is photography. And I'll put some photos, the befores and afters of what I've taken so far here. If you're interested to see my little evolving journey, you can follow my photography Instagram here. I've upgraded my camera, and I've had some wonderful like photography friends who has really like guided me along, brought me along for photo shoots, and now I'm trying to like plan my own stuff, and I've been having a really good time. How am I? I think from a emotional perspective, I'm doing pretty good. I get to regulate my own time. I rented my own place, which there'll be an apartment tour coming, as well as how much I'm paying for rent, which, phew, I'm having a good time here. I think what I needed was kind of like a break from the world, a new, fresh perspective. And I really appreciate that I've kind of, you know, been able to do that for myself in Singapore. And yeah, that's that. And the last question is, will we be getting any more awesome content soon? I don't know about awesome YouTube content. Hopefully I will be giving you guys a bit more about myself, document my journey, and maybe you'd like to come along. So I'll see you guys next week or in a few days for some more awesome YouTube content. Bye bye!